Welcome to World Monologue Games 2024. You're watching the Endurance category and the region is Australia. We do have strong language and adult themes at the game, so if you're sensitive to any particular subject matter, it could be in the show. Please hit the like or subscribe button or leave a comment for the actors. Voting lines will be open for 48 hours from the end of this broadcast, so if you'd like to vote, a link will be available in the description of this video. Enjoy the show.
Honestly, sitting across from you right now, I can see exactly why my associates brought you in to be part of what we're doing here. Now, what's your name again? Isabella! Wonderful! Somehow, even though I've just met you, I feel that you are going to deliver something amazing. Welcome to Emerald. Now, the name Emerald, I'm proud to say, is my own creation. Some say it's an odd name, sounds like an insurance company or the title of a fantasy novel, but it has a very specific meaning. Very much in keeping with what we're doing here. Well, in fact, it has a double meaning. For one, emeralds are rare. Much rarer than diamonds. They're almost impossible to find. In fact, you could be staring right at one and not even realize it's right there in plain sight. So there's that. But it also carries with it the other meaning. Have you heard of the Emerald Wasp, Isabella? Oh, it's an incredible creature, a true testament to the brutal nature of evolution. They're sometimes called jewel wasps, and they can only exist if they torture other living creatures to death. Can you imagine that, Isabella? Having your entire existence dependent on the torture of others? Well, I can tell you, they're absolutely real. They're as real as you and I sitting right here, right now. These creatures, have no malice. They're not evil. In fact, the Emerald Wasp is simply doing what it evolved to do. What all successful living creatures evolve to do, to propagate, to survive. And do you know how? Well, the first thing it has to do is to sting the head of a cockroach, injecting it with a chemical cocktail that allows the wasp to control the cockroach completely. Now then, the wasp lures the cockroach back to its nest and traps it inside, effectively making it its prisoner. From there is no escape. Oh, it's about to get worse. Much worse, Isabella. Once the cockroach is trapped within the wasp's nest, the wasp injects the cockroach with an egg. Now, once the egg hatches, the new wasp starts to eat the cockroach from the inside. But for the wasp to survive, it needs to keep the cockroach alive. And to do that, it has to take a very particular path through the body of the cockroach to ensure that it's able to be provided with enough fresh meat for it to live. Now, the baby cockroach needs to work its way slowly, very slowly, always eating, until at last it emerges from the cockroach which has succumbed to the long, drawn-out torture it has had to endure. Only then is the Emerald Wasp, this jewel of creation, truly born into this world. All things bright and beautiful, as they say. Now, Isabella, the most important thing for you to take from that story, and what's going to be relevant immediately in coming days to you, is the fact that I have managed to replicate the chemical cocktail the Emerald Wasp injects. If you choose correctly, I will let you live. Never let it be said that I'm not a fair man willing to give a sporting chance. Now, 3 of these contain the chemical cocktail, and 1 of them has colored water. I will give you 60 seconds to select one and inject yourself. If you fail to do that within this time, I will choose. Now, when I press this button, your shackles will be removed and you will be able to continue with this simple task. 60 seconds. Your time starts now.
My mum arrives. Sensible pants, sensible shoes. Clutching her straw bag, the one I gave her for Christmas. It's a beach bag, I told her. Pop your towel and sunscreen in it and off you go. When do I have time to go to the beach? Fail. She looks afraid. And she is here because of me. Everything feels like my fault these days. For 763 days, I cannot stop all the voices. You fucked a guy on a sofa at work. You bring him home to your bed. You're so drunk you even vomit. Berating myself. You didn't scream or kick enough. You froze in the middle of it all. You just froze. What's wrong with you? You're pathetic. You let him sleep in your bed after he had done that to you while you just cried in the shower. Damien is a good barrister. He does lots of pro bono work. What are you doing to him? What if he really thought you were consenting? I dig into my thighs with my nails. Make myself feel the pain. Trying to shake sense into my brain. Come on, Tess. Remember. The law says, it says, you can't do this to a woman. Can't hold her down, ignore her, keep her trapped while you push, while you push yourself inside of her. You can't rape and then pretend it was consensual. Can you? Mum hands me a sandwich. Vegemite and cheese. My stomach can't take it, but she looks so worried. She looks so old now. Deep bags under eyes. Silence. Chew white bread. Kraft cheddar slices and the tang of Vegemite. She gets up and completely engulfs me in this gruff hug. Just be your strong self. Don't let the bastards beat you down. Even if they get away with it, just don't let them ruin our Tessa. I make a noise. But I won't cry. I won't. The trial will run for 3 days, and it is only me giving evidence, not Damien. Today, Damien is pleading not guilty. He will not admit what he did. But I know he knows. I know he must know. Damien's not stupid. He's just convinced himself and all the people he has asked to write letters of support for him. People I know. He's just convinced himself and all of them that I am lying. And I'm doing it I'm doing this to destroy him. He's convinced himself he is the victim. While me, I'm forced to say the words. Relive it all in front of everyone. Why? How does he get to sit there and not be cross-examined? He is the one who did this to me. I'm the one on trial. Mum's face. I can't help thinking she knows what it is to be violated somehow. I'll never ask. The white bread is in lumps in my mouth. Swallowing is hard.
They say red makes things go faster. Red is the colour of speed, the colour of lust, the colour of love, the colour of violence, the colour of hate. It's the colour of passion, don't you think? It's always a serious colour, always full on your face, in your face. You live your life trying to free yourself from the confines, from the things set upon you, the conditions. And you try to make meaning out of life. And you try to be young and beautiful. We all come back to red. The passionate red. Red revolution, red love, red hate, red fighting. I suppose, though, when you fight fire with fire, red with red, you end up with black. Charred bones, charcoal, soot. What's left over is black. I am red, I am passionate, I am love and lust and fucking fire, aren't I? I am so red that I am become black. Soot, charcoal, charred bones. And I am left with dark red, black red love bites all over my skin. And what's left over, other than black? What's left over for a faggot? I am already left over. I am the last one, the last of my red loved ones, the last of the ones that cared. I'm alone. I'm alone. I am left over and alone. To die alone. Black, black, black. I can't become beautiful. No more red beauty for me. No, no, no. Just black. Black marks. Red black marks. Marking me with a black spot against my name, against my reputation, against my body. I am now a number, a cause, a sacrifice. Do you want to know the worst part? It's not that I'm going to die. It's that they think I'm someone else, someone I'm not, that I slept around, that I deserve this, that I have a cure to repent, to suffer, to amend, to discourage. I'm a symbol of struggle, of pain, of all the fucking trials and tribulations that we had to go through to have red. I will die soon. My T cells are well and truly below 300. I can't look beautiful because I sweat my makeup away during my fevers. Sweat! Then my love bites, my lust bites, my sacrifice, my reaper can be seen. It's not enough that my tongue goes white, that I vomit up my feces, that I have no natural hair, that I'm ugly, or that I can't fit. I can't fit into my clothes. My clothes don't fit. They fall off. And then what is left over? Who will be left over when I am gone? No, Red! Red! No, Red. Only black.
People would call me a hero, killer, saint, psychopath. Even if you use first three all in the same sentence. Hero, killer, saint. Maybe you're thinking army. That ain't me. I don't give two shits about my country, and I'm sure as hell I'm not going to die trying to save it. I'm not a cop or a bodyguard or anything you'd expect killer and hero to go together. My name's Mark Theo Carter, and until recently I lived a fairly unremarkable life. Last 5 years I've hardly worked a day and more or less lived off welfare. And look, I'm not a stupid person, but I'll be the first to admit I'm inherently lazy. Someone wants to do something for me and I'm not going to stop them, you know? The only thing that you guys find interesting about me is the last 5 years, killed 16 people. I only got charged for 4 of them, but it was more than enough for the last sentence. The first one happened not long after I quit my job. My relationship had just broken down and kind of going through some shit, you know. Killing wasn't exactly on my to-do list, but you know, the right situation crops up and you never know what's going to happen. It was late on a Wednesday night. I was walking through Hyde Park and see what looks like a couple of teenagers having a root. When I go closer, I see that the guy has his hand clamped down on the girl's mouth. And there's something reflecting in the lamplight. He freaks out a bit and I can see that he's holding what looks like a knife at her throat. "Fuck off or I'll cut the bitch," he says to me. I keep walking towards him. She can't move her head, but her terrified eyes are fixed on me. And he gives me that second to last warning bullshit, you know? So I said to him, "You've done this before, boy. You're holding that fucking butter knife like you're going to spread Vegemite on your toast." And I'm real close to him now. He recognises I'm the alpha. So he hands me the knife. And I feel this overpowering hatred take control of me. Before you know it, his throat is gashed open and he collapses in a heap. I pull his body away from the girl and or from my hand. She lies there whimpering for a minute or so. And I pull her to her feet and send her on a merry way. Got off without so much as a wrist slap for that one. The media called me a hero. You believe that? Mm. The second guy didn't get me quite the same reception. It was an accident, but he was one of the 4 that I was charged with icing. I've been helping my brother loading his store with his electronics store at 3 AM. I drove off when I was done and realised I forgot my wallet, so I came back and I see there's a guy in there stuffing cameras into a bag. And I go, oi! And he turns around and he finds my fist breaking his nose. Thought it'd be over in 2 seconds, but no, he was tough. He hit me right back and we ended up on the floor. I rolled on top of him and grabbed a fistful of his fucking Fabio hair. Made his head easier to smash into the ground. Before the trial, the shrinks all agreed that, I was a psychopath. Quite simply, we're people that don't feel guilt or remorse or empathy or anything like that. You know, that's the biggest delineation between me and you guys. Doesn't mean we're naturally wired to kill or that we seek it out or we enjoy it or anything. Just, I don't know, we don't feel anything when it happens. It's like having a cup of tea. You know? Oh. What's that look in your faces? I know all of you came here to feel superior, but it's a little early for your holy now to start, isn't it? Look, I was a saint for the first 28 years of my life. You know? Didn't hurt a fly. That rapist set me off. It was only after him that I started killing people. In my early 20s, I actually worked at a charity helping the poor. I volunteered one evening a week at an animal shelter. And I was a lifeguard. Yeah. What was I? The third guy. He was on a train. He was listening to that awful fucking doof music really loud on his phone and he's using his keys to graffiti the walls. This fucking kid was getting under my skin, so I pushed him in the shoulder and I told him to cut that shit out. And he goes, "Don't touch me, cunt!" And he kept at it. Look, I don't like being called names, so I took his keys and I chucked him out the nearest window. He took a swipe at my face and a minute later, choked the little dickhead to death. Yeah. 4, 5, and 6, they were all in a similar fashion. Young guy was doing something antisocial in my face, I didn't like it, and I told him to stop. Yeah, I actually enjoyed icing them. Alright. I know what you're thinking now. This is where the line's no longer blurry. We've crossed all the way through the grey. Huh? He's pure psycho now, this guy. Starting fights and ice and losers are pretty uncool. Yeah, but you know what? I don't think you're all so great yourselves. You say you care about your fellow man, but you buy shit made in sweatshops and you walk past the homeless every day. I'm a psychopath. I've got a physiological reason to not give a toss about the inhumanity that we're all part of. I reckon that makes you guys kind of worse than me. Anyway, you didn't come here to find out how miserable you all are. This is Psych 101 with Theo Carter and his 16 victims. Number 7. Number 7. He picked a fight with me. He was drunk. I truly won that fight. 8 and 9 were drug dealers from old high school that were peddling shit in my neighbourhood. Told them where to go and one of them pulled a gun on me. So I shot them both in the lane, mate. Near my unit. What's wrong with my boring you now? Should I skip ahead? Alright. So the last guy, he was known to me. I used to get Christmas cards from him after I saved his life about 8 years back. He was down at Bondi and he got his stupid ass caught in a rip. Me being a lifeguard, I had to save him. This guy brought us all drinks, you know, bought us a few drinks to save him for the extra life and seemed like a decent enough fella. And a few years later, he bumps into my friend Sam from a surf club. Buys her a few drinks and he snogs her and he takes her back home. She gets cold feet and the beers wear off and he doesn't take no for an answer. So he rapes her a couple of times. She's too chicken to go to the cops and he gets away with it. Same all these years later on Pitt Street. I saved this fucker's life and he thanks the world by sexually assaulting my friend. So I asked him, why? Why the fuck would I help people? If this prick had drowned, he wouldn't have been around to deal with Sam. It made me realise I could do society a much bigger favour by icing cunts I know that are bad, rather than saving ones that may or may not be good. So I took out the only weapon I had, a pen, and I stabbed this fucker right in the neck, in the middle of Pitt Street. Everyone started screaming and he fell onto the ground, he's trying to crawl away, bleeding all over the fucking place. I watched that motherfucker crawl around for 3 whole minutes before the cops come, and this cop had a fucking gun right in my face. Before you know it, I'm in Slammer. A life sentence. Anyway, that's my story. Make of it what you will and judge me however you see fit. God knows I'm judging you for critical shitbags. Yeah. I'm Theo Carter. Hero, killer, psychopath.
You're sorry for my loss. You're sorry for my loss. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? I'm sorry. I know that's just something that people say when they don't know what else to say. But you know, who's really sorry? I'm sorry. I'm sorry for his loss. The night that he died, I spoke to him on the phone only a few hours earlier. He was slurring his speech. Thought that was a bit weird. He said he was just really drunk. And he didn't drink. You know that little voice in the back of your head? It tells you that something's not right. I just shut it off because we were best friends. We knew everything about each other. We had a pact to always be honest with each other. So I believed him. You know, you move to a new town, meet new friends. That's what people do, right? Go out for a few drinks. Maybe he was just really drunk. But I couldn't silence that little voice. That voice is there for a reason, you know. So at the end of the call, I said, I'll call you in a couple of hours, okay? And say goodnight. I fell asleep. So I didn't call. I didn't think anything of it the next morning. Me and my friend went out for coffees. I was driving. My phone rang. So my friend answered it. I'll never forget. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it. He had my phone. And he just started screaming. No! 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 And he looked at me and he said, I can't say it. I can't say it. I can't tell you. The look of terror in his eyes. I'll never forget it. And straight away I knew. I knew what had happened. And I knew who it was. He'd overdosed at 3 a.m. And I'd spoken to him at midnight. What if I'd called back at 1 a.m.? What if I'd called 000? Or called a friend to come and check on him? I have to live with that. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Dan.
Jade loved that bike. Perhaps more than anything else, if I'm being completely honest. She always said it was like her freedom, which I never understood. I always thought that motorbikes were a death trap on wheels. That was until she took me out for a ride. And I have never felt more safe than I did with my arms wrapped around her waist, going down the coast, even if it was at 100 kilometers an hour. In that moment, I understood. I saw why it was her freedom. I just wish that that freedom didn't have to come at such a cost. I don't even know what I said to the lady on the other end of the phone. I just remember hanging up and my stomach falling out through my feet, and I was trying to cry, but nothing came out, so I just sat there silently screaming. But I knew you needed me, Jade. So I grabbed my keys and I drove to the hospital as quickly as I could. When I got there, I saw your parents and they pulled me in for a hug. And then I saw you. And you still looked so beautiful lying on that bed. The sun was shining through your hair like it was when I first met you. But there was this big tube that was blocking your beautiful smile. And I went over to you and I held you and I just kept saying, please don't let this be real. Please, God, not my Jade. And I kept telling you that you'd be okay and that you'd wake up and that it would all be fine. I mean, I could see you breathing. I could see your chest rising and falling. And I swear that one time when I held your hand, I even saw you smile. But the doctors told me that you weren't there anymore. And I didn't believe them. And I didn't want them to take you from me. But it wasn't up to me, it was up to your parents. And they said it was time to say our goodbyes. And so the doctor came back in. And we all just stood there for a while, holding you, not wanting it to end. Your dad was holding your hand and your mum was on the other side of the bed and she gave you a kiss on the forehead and I was lying next to you as well. And then they pulled the plug and they took the tube from out of your throat and I gave you one last kiss, and as I did, I felt the air leave your body for the last time. But it still didn't feel real because your lips were still warm, like they were the first time that we kissed in the sea. But I knew you were gone. Your parents stayed holding you for a while longer, but I couldn't bear to feel you go cold. I'd already felt your life leave you once, and I couldn't do that again. And I couldn't bear to remember you as anything but pure warmth. Well, except for your legs in the winter, they were always little icicles. But I couldn't bear to remember you as that, all over, forever. I don't really know how I got home, and I definitely know that I don't want to be here because it doesn't feel like home without your warmth, without your love. But here I am, a complete wreck sitting in our bed, and I still have the pajamas that you wore last night with the bunnies on them. They still smell like you. I don't ever want to forget that smell. It's just not fair. It's not fair, Jane. I had two years with you, and they were the best fucking 2 years of my entire life. But we were meant to have longer. You were meant to be my forever, Jade. We were meant to grow old together and raise kids and grandkids and gross them out with how much their nana loved their grandma and raise them with all the love and compassion that I never got. And instead, I'm in our bed and you're in the fucking morgue. And that's just not okay. And I'm so mad at you for leaving me. No, I'm not. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Jane. I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at God or the universe or whoever is up there that decides when we live and die because it's not fair. I know so many assholes who get to grow old and grey and raise kids who resent them, and they get to bask in the trail of destruction they've left behind. They don't leave everyone who's ever had the incredible privilege of knowing them in some sudden stupid twist of fate in a motorcycle crash. It's just not fair. And I love you so much, Jade. And I can't do this without you. I don't want to do this without you. You were my everything. You are my everything. You showed me what life is and what love is and how to dance in the rain when the entire fucking world is crumbling around you. You pulled me out of this pit, and no amount of positive thinking or Wilson Phillips songs is going to change the fact that you're not here. And I can't do this without you. So I'm sorry, but before I left the hospital, I stole some medicine from the car next to your bed. I don't have anyone to miss me, Jade. I mean, maybe your parents, but I highly doubt they'll want anything to do with me now that you're gone. Goodbye, my love. I'll see you soon. I'm sorry. I love you. Goodbye.
Hi, Anna. This is Mira. Are you there? I heard you say hello. I've read online that you've died. I know it's fake news. I'm not gullible anymore. Maybe when you're not too busy baking your edibles, or bringing down the patriarchy, or filming your next mega hit, you could shoot me a note that says, alive. Okay? Anna, say something. Are you fucking with me? Oh my God, after everything you've already done. Maybe you did die and you're listening in on a metaphysical level. Well, listen up, Buttercup. You do not get to die until you listen to what I have to say. You think you know me? You don't know shit. Oh, you fucked me over. And it started at the very beginning with our fake rehearsals for our fake film. You're such a phony. You fooled me. 6 months of Zoom rehearsals with Mig's big famous actress. You on your fancy ass beach on Amelia Island, Florida. Me, Newcastle Beach, Australia. And even though we're looking at each other on screen, see, I thought we had a connection. I thought we were human, not robots or AI. Wouldn't that be perfect? You string me along for months and you fucking disappear because you're an AI on Amelia Island. You told me you were doing this film for the art, for the creative expression, for the joy. I say bullshit, Buttercup. You would not know art or creative expression or joy if it licked your ass. That's right, because you're only motivated by one thing. You think I didn't know? But I do. Quit sending me your pity money. I don't need your money. I'm going to be fine, and my daughter is going to be just fine. More money doesn't bring you more happiness, it brings you more stuff. And more stuff brings you distraction. And distraction is exactly what kills the creative process. So when you start complaining about the cracks in your swimming pool and your expensive spa seaweed wraps just so you can keep standing on your fucking pedestal, you don't have a clue what it means to be happy or a human, and you don't even know when you've broken someone's heart. Shit. Oh, I didn't mean that. Shit. I didn't care about the movie. I just wanted to be mates. I know you said we couldn't become friends. I feel like some silly nobody who became a somebody who you only offered a role to because you thought it would help you finally win your Oscar. I did a spell to let it all go. By the way, you're the only one who knows about me being a witch, a good witch, so please don't tell. You can have my Oscar. Standing on pedestals makes me feel wobbly. We actors are so fucking brilliant about being real on the screen, but in real life. You once asked me about my daughter Stella. You asked me why I never talk about her. I was scared. And you said, just make it a story about someone else, like actors do. That's why I called you. I wanted to tell you this story. Once upon a time, there was a woman who wanted to be a mum. And one day she found out she was pregnant and she was over the moon. Even though the dad didn't want to take part, the mum knew she could pull it off on her own. The mum and the dad parted ways, and the daughter was born, and it was hard. The dad showed back up. It got easier, and then the dad left again. The daughter changed. She became very still, very flat. She stopped talking. The dad came back into the picture, tried to take the daughter away from the mum, and then the dad died. I tried everything to help her. My daughter is autistic. She doesn't talk. She sings songs about stars and kangaroos. Talking about it just makes the mum feel worse. So I don't. The end. There. Now you can sell that to the tabloids. Just kidding. I'm sorry it didn't work out for us. I'm sure you'll be amazing in the film even without me. No one's ever called me their soul sister before. I didn't want to know Miss Big Famous Actress. I wanted to know you. Anna, if you have died, I'm going to be gutted. Why do people have to croak before we realize how much they mean to us? Anna, are you there? You're not dead and you're not AI. That's right. You're my soul sister.
Alright, thanks for watching. If you'd like to help select who goes through to the global finals, you can vote for your 2 favourite performances from the show. A link to the voting form will be available in the description of this video for 48 hours from the end of the broadcast. Please note that you do have to vote for 2 performances, not just 1, and you can only vote once per show. If you want to see our other upcoming events, please check out worldmonologuegames.com. See you next time.